to say even. You got. Hi, I'm Bob Venn. Ron Rivard from the school here and also from Northeastern Booster Club. The equipment you see in the back and the Champlain telephone trucks and so forth, we're not at Champlain Telephone Company. We've been there already, if you remember. We had a good show there with Dave and his crew, but we're up on the field at Northeastern Clinton Central School, and we've got some real surprises going on here. There are posts, and are they going to have a telephone company lines here or something? What's going on, Ron?
Well, we're putting lights up on the soccer field up here at Northeastern. We've been in the process for a year talking about it with the school personnel, the administration, and now you see everything put in progress.
And that's your soccer field is over there, and you're going to have, I see 5 poles on this side and 5 on the other side.
5 on here, that's correct.
All right, so that we understand exactly what's happening. You're a teacher here, you know, and you're on the school. What has this got to do with the school except being on school grounds?
Well, this is totally being funded by the Booster Club. It's no cost to the taxpayers. So this is a project we thought we wanted to get into. We have 100% encouragement, cooperation from the school and the athletic department, and now it's time, once it gets going, we have to dig in and start paying for the project.
Is this because you expect your games to be longer? There are going to be a lot of these 0-0 scores. You're going to start at 4 o'clock and won't get finished?
No, we're hoping to go night games here.
Night games. You're going to be Saturday, Sunday? Do you have any idea what they're going to be doing?
We're going to go with the schedule. Tuesday, whatever this game is scheduled during the week, that's when we're going to have it.
It'll be at night. You get bigger crowds, obviously.
Well, we hope, you know, it will benefit the students, the community, the parents, to have the opportunity now to come up here at night to see the games and be part of the athletic events that go on here at the school.
Are you expecting any double headers, maybe, where other schools might come and use the field?
That's a possibility, but down the road, you know, that would have to be the decision of the administration here.
So you're the manager and all in charge of this project?
Well, I'm a very small part of what's going on here.
You're president of the Booster Club, correct? Yes. And tell us a little bit about Ron Rivard. Where are you from, Ron? I know you're from Vermont.
Yeah, Newport, Vermont.
And you got your passport to come over to the United States here, to be in New York State?
No,
I caught him off guard a little bit.
I graduated from Norwich University.
All right, tell us.
Since 74, and I've been here since 75.
Well, you went through that too quick. Where are you from in Vermont?
Newport,
Vermont. Okay, yeah. Tell us more. You went to school there?
Sacred Heart.
Okay.
I went to Sacred Heart in Newport. I had for a teacher, I know you did a nice program, Sister Leona.
Yes.
Okay, I had her for a teacher.
Did you?
I did, and but then I went to Norwich University, and from there I had 1 year. I taught at St. John's 1 year in '74, and 75 I came up here.
Okay, what do you teach here?
I teach physical education in the junior high.
Okay, now you also, Norm Bono is from your area over there?
Norm Bono is from, yes, he is.
And if Calvin will help me recall, who was the person we saw recently, and I asked if he knew Norm Bono, and he said, yeah, Ron Rivard. You remember? No. Oh, well, you got to watch our program out there, folks. If you watched our program, you'll know. You're watching what's going on here. We're with Ron Rivard, the president of the Booster Club, who are not paying for all of this because the Champlain Telephone Company, I understand, donated the poles. They're donating the labor.
The labor, yeah.
And we would like to, you would like to, it's a good time to thank those people.
You bet we thank them. Without Dave Selfick, the telephone company, this would not be happening. And also Sonny Spiegel, talking with him through the school and everything, he's going to donate a scoreboard to the school for this project as well. Terrific.
You know that we did a 2-hour show nearly on the telephone company, and I think as a result of that, Dave got contributions. He got contracts signed to go on TV with other places. He's going to go to Hollywood and so forth, and because of all of this, he wants to give some back to the community, so he's putting up the poles.
Well, he does. He gives a lot back.
I know he does. I know he does.
We're very, very grateful to him.
We were just talking with Dale Carter. He came over here, and I understand they've had some kind of a problem with their
trench digger. Yeah. So they just turned it around and started with the backhoe.
And they're going to put that line now. Well, see, you can see here that the wire runs from the school, and they're digging a ditch. It hasn't been laid yet. Then they'll put the dirt back in, and they'll be running the power up to the pole, that first pole, and then they'll run obviously,
Down.
by the air, right? They'll be up
Right,
above.
it'll be overhead.
And then over here, they're going to run across behind the goalposts, right?
Right, and we're going to put a cable underneath, and then we're going to go down the other side.
The other side.
Yeah.
So who thought of this idea? Whose idea is this?
Well, I guess I did. Well, we've been talking now for 2 years or so, a possibility it would be nice to put lights up here. Last year, when we played down at Seton, the Northeastern and Seton game, it was amazed the number of fans, Northeastern Clinton fans that went down there. There's more fans from up here than there was from down there. And we thought, geez, if we can get a crowd down there or underneath the lights, well, we should be able to do it up here at our home field.
Okay, now if you could keep that truck parked right where it is over there, or a little high platform, somebody that we both know could be up there with his camera.
Well, yes.
Are you going to have a Calvin station or something like that?
He has already approached me on this, and we're going to do our utmost. Yes, we will.
Are you very approachable and things like that?
I am. I'm going to. I will. I told Calvin I will take care of it, and I will.
I understand that Shay Z's got something for him down there. I was talking to some people.
Well,
and they said,
we can't let Shay Z outdo us.
Yeah, that's right. No. Well, this has been you're soccer power here too.
Yeah. Yes, yes, we are.
And what's the forecast for this? If you are not the soccer coach,
no,
we have a soccer coach in the area
we
here.
Certainly do.
Why don't we get him over here? And the athletic director. Come on over, athletic director, with your. He's got carry that with you. See.
Tape measure.
Yeah, he has that to see how long he's been here. He wants to see how. Okay. Oh yes. Huh?
1969.
Is that right? You've had that since? All right. Well, let's find out who these people are.
I'm Rick Frisbee, Director of Athletics at Northeastern Clinton.
Rick, how long have you been here?
I've been here about 21 years.
And your home?
My home is Westport.
Westport, New York. And you went to college in Plattsburgh?
I went to college in Kentucky.
You got to remember, these people don't know any of these things now. So tell us a little bit more about Rick Frisbee. Where do you live now, and how many children?
I live in Shazy. I have 2 boys, Andy and Rob, and they go to Shazy Central School.
I've seen their name. I've heard them on TV too once in a while, right?
Yes, they do. They're both soccer players, and they play at Shazy.
All right. And this gentleman?
John Turco.
And John?
I'm the boys varsity soccer coach.
Okay. And where are you from? What's your background?
Well, I'm originally from Albany, New York, and I attended a SUNY at Brockport. I did play soccer at college, and currently I'm living in North Hero, Vermont. I have a son who's 10 months old next week, and I've been teaching here, let's see, this will be my 9th year.
Terrific. You see, I don't have much contact with the school, I must admit. I come up with Calvin once in a while, and I know some of the teachers, but I don't really spend a lot of time at the school. I haven't been. I might be spending a little bit more now, particularly with night games. I've just retired. John, what's your forecast for this year's team? You got any kind of a return?
Well, after last year's championship team, we really hope to try to keep things going.
You were last year's what? Tell us more about that.
CVAC champions last year.
That's great.
Undefeated season. Made it all the way to the sectional finals and lost the final game.
Terrific.
I'm returning roughly about 12 players. I lost 4 starters, so it looks like a good nucleus coming back from last year's team with a good outlook of around 5 to 6 JV players who I think will make an immediate impact on the team this year.
Who's the JV soccer coach?
This year, it's Dale Hawksby's been assigned as the coach for JV, and I'm looking forward to working with him.
Right.
So,
now, will they be playing here in the night, or will they play after school? What's going to be
basically, what we're looking at is the schedule will be that the JV teams will be playing around 4:15 start, and the varsity games will be starting roughly around 6:30 p.m.
How long does it take for a soccer game today?
Well, it's usually just under 2 hours. A lot will depend on whether you go into an overtime at a tie. Then you're looking at around 2 hours, 10 minutes roughly, somewhere around there. The JV game should be ending around between 5:45 and 6. That gives the varsity about 15-20 minutes to warm up, and then we're looking around 6:30 to start, and the game should be over between 8 and 8:30.
Okay. Rick, what does an athletic director do?
Well, he's more or less the coordinator of all the sports. We have approximately 15 sports here at Northeastern,
Okay.
and it encompasses being involved with over 20 coaches, and we have approximately over 300 students involved in athletics here. So it's a time-consuming job.
So that would include the girls' sports and the boys' sports?
That would include all the teams involved.
Anything that happens has to be cleared through you within reason? Anything that's major?
Most everything goes through me, and I in turn work with the superintendent and high school principal.
Okay. And how does the Booster Club become involved with you? How are you involved? What do you do for the students here? And look at that camera right here as you're talking to me.
Well, we help raise money for the athletics programs here at school.
Right. Well, now when they've passed the budget and they got you give them what, things they couldn't get otherwise?
Yeah, this is something that wouldn't be in the budget, and we go beyond that. And with Rick and the athletic department, we talk about projects, what we can do, and then the Booster Club chooses the project they would like to get involved in, and then we just go for it with the. And I would like to emphasize that the school has been 100% in cooperation with us and everything. So and they're totally behind us.
What are some of your money-raising projects? What do you?
What we do with concession at basketball games here, now we're going to have a concession out here for the soccer games and stuff. So, and we have school dances. We're hoping to get into other drives. We have an activity committee, and we have a meeting next week. This is what we're going to be planning now. How are we going to pay for this project? It's only begun now.
Now, the expenses have been cut dramatically because of the Champlain Telephone Company, right?
Definitely, yes. Everything we have been going through Jack Hogan, the Plattsburgh Electric Supply there, and he has been working very closely with us, helping us with prices and everything else. So the people involved have been just super in working with.
Are you familiar enough with tell me what you're going to have for lights, what the power
No,
is?
our man just came out. The general
out?
Foreman here, if I can get him over here.
Well, don't you try and get the general foreman for us.
I'll get him over here.
Okay, what else can you tell us about athletics?
Well, Bob,
yes.
First of all, as long as you got me on the camera here, I would like to, on behalf of the school and as director of athletics and all the coaches here at the school, I would like to personally thank Dave Southwick and the Champlain Telephone Company and Ron Rivard at the Booster Club. He is very enthusiastic and has a lot of energy involved in this project. And I also like to compliment Louis Levesque. Louis, as you recall, has been or was former MEI athletic director, and he was instrumental in putting the lights up down on the Seton field. So he'll be over here in a minute, and he has had a big part in this project. And without Louis, I think we'd really be lost here. He has a lot of knowledge about the electrical part of it and the actual setup of it. And so again, as director of athletics here, I think it's a great project. I think that it's really going to help our soccer program here at school. And I know John is really elated about it, and we're really looking forward to having good crowds at our soccer games this year.
All right, I'm not looking for a pat on the back. I do not work for Hometown Cable. I do this as a show that I came up with Calvin, and I'm very much in favor of Hometown Cable. What does Hometown Cable mean to the athletics here at NCCS, if I can catch you off guard?
I think it opens up opportunities for a variety of people throughout all the communities to get a look at actually what goes on at our school with some of these athletic events. Not just soccer, and that's because I'm the soccer coach, but we're also talking basketball and some of the spring sports, and it gives people a chance who may not be able to get to a game to see what does go on and what the kids are getting out of this athletic program.
Do you know any other place you get this kind of coverage on TV anywhere in the state or in Vermont?
I'm not aware of it all. I think it's great. Keep up the good work, because we're really pleased.
Well, Calvin puts a lot of hours in, but all these young people they see themselves on TV, their parents, their grandparents. I'm sure copies are sent to relatives out of the area, and I'm sure that now at night games, he may have something else going on in the afternoon. He can do a Shazy game in the afternoon, come here, do one in the evening. And you couldn't do that before. You can't be in 2-3 places at the same time.
That's right.
All right. Well, listen, gentlemen, it was nice meeting you, John, and good seeing you again, Rick. And we'll be right back with what's going on here. I'm Bob Van, and our focus today is the new lights. And you see now 2 poles on the right instead of 1. We're at the NCCS field, and we'll be right back to show you. We'll go out there and watch a pole being installed by the Champlain Telephone Company. We're going over to look at the poles being installed, but before, I was just commenting to Ron about how uneven the track is here, and well, first of all, what a nice track it was until I got to the corner. Well, tell us the story about the track in general. How did this track get installed?
Well, there was another project with the Booster Club in conjunction with the school athletic department and the administration. We took it upon ourselves. We went out and got prices for the material that we used here on the track. Worked very closely with Rick Frisbee and the department to, and the coach, what they wanted out here. Northern Brack Top, a local business here in Champlain, donated their time, took big heavy equipment off a job for a weekend to come up here to do the work, and so it was done right. There was a lot of people involved in this.
And that's the Tremblay family with the Northern
Yes,
Blacktop. That's Orville Tremblay and his sons. And we want to tell you one more thing. The reason I'm mentioning it is because look at the condition of this track this morning. Sometime within the past 2 or 3 weeks.
This happened this summer.
This summer. Somebody, boys or girls, someone from the area or not from the area, decided to use it as a car track and started to run around, and they skidded around. They've got 6-inch ruts in here. You can just see here, this is much stuff you got to get off, and it's still not level. There's an idea of what's happened because they've been running around here. The cars should not be out here. So if anybody knows anybody was out here, if you know anything about this, I'm sure the school would be interested. And if nothing else, and you're out there, whoever did this, please keep off the school track. A lot of money, a lot of effort by a lot of people has gone into this so that our young people can enjoy that. We had a very good track season, an excellent track season, excellent, absolutely great. And to have things like this happen after so much work, I think is a crime, a real crime, and it is a crime. It's against the law, so please keep off our track and help.
We have a beautiful facility up here. I think the best in Clinton County, and we have to keep it this way. We have to make every effort that this does not happen again, and even on our fields, that they don't drive on the fields. It takes a lot of work to maintain a facility.
They don't do this.
Like
doesn't happen often up here, does it?
Oh, it does.
It does happen.
You get three-wheelers up here, four-wheelers up here.
It's so far from everything else, and no one sees them out here, I guess.
Every year we have this problem. Every year.
Well, I understand from talking to the people involved at the school that if they find out who these people are, they're going to prosecute here and other things. So keep off the field, please. And that's enough said, I guess, about that. And we just wanted you to know, people, that this is your taxpayers' money up here, and if you know what's happening with these people, keep them off the property so that they don't damage. Let's go back to more uplift things. We're going to go watch them put a pole in. You're watching a hole being dug for this. How long are the poles? Anybody know how long our poles are? 30-footers? 40? These are 40-foot poles, and they put that in the ground about, what, 8 feet maybe? 5. 5.5 feet, and they're drilling. You see an auger, much like you would see on a home drill, the bit stock and so forth, and you see it's called the Pittman polecat, and here it's coming up, and you'll see what we're talking about. And then all the dirt is on it. Now they'll knock the dirt off and go back down and do some more digging. And then they just lift that pole up with the claws on the end and drop it right straight down in. It's the way to do it. And as Ron said, this is a very expensive proposition, and the Champlain Telephone Company, the courtesy of Dave and family and the other people at Champlain Telephone Company are making this possible. They've been up here yesterday putting some of the other poles, and they're up here this Friday, today. And it was raining earlier, but it's not now. As you look off to the right here, you can see where the field ends. Right where the grass turns into hay is where the northeastern property stops. And there was talk. We were talking earlier. If that post backstop back there could move forward, it could probably play some softball right here at night in the summers, and have night games with lights. So they're still going down, I think. And over here we see the crossbar and the various things being put on to a pole. There's the driving the bit down through, and it's. Want to put that?
There, okay.
Okay.
Yep.
I just got some work in here. I'll talk to Dave about this. And they're pulling their drill down through now. And they're putting up the attachment for the wires. The wires roll across on this. There's one of these, as you see, across each, and they're at an angle, and then that's where the lights will be installed on top of the other part of these right here. They'll be attached, there'll be a bar, and the lights will be on here. They can be moved around and so forth. If you look up here, Calvin, there's the cable coming down. I guess that will help to stand the pole up. And at the very top, you see the jaws, much like these bugs we've got around our houses right now. I forget what the people are calling them. And that will grab the pole. Obviously, that can't come down, so it's got to bring it up to where it can stand it up. And they're right on time. As they're finishing, ready to lift it, they finished here, or awfully close to finished, at the top of the pole. And there'll be two more. They got a few more things to do at this end. We'll just take a short break and get right back to you. We're at the Northeast Clinton School, a project. Okay, you can see that I thought there's some more things to be installed, but they're holding it up so that we won't have to use that block I put under it. That pole's been there a while, you can see, because the grass has grown all around it. It gives you an idea. It's been here at least a week waiting to be installed. And all the hard hat people, I believe, are with the telephone company. And they're installing that's an insulator type thing where they run the wires from pole to pole, so they won't have a sharp break in to bend the wire, or that the wire would break in any way. I don't know what this is. Not my field right here. That's my field down below. The hay and the for a while you might think you're back in the Cast Irons Ridgeview Farm, but you're not. I don't know who owns this land. Any idea, Calvin?
Nope.
Does that go to Filio's maybe? That might be the back of Filio's over there. You know, they own a lot of land back here. Of course, right along where those trees line is back there to that run from the end of the field along the side is the old railroad bed when the, which one was it? The Rutland, not the Rutland, yeah, the Rutland. That went through here, right through the village of Champlain. Well, anyway, now we're going to talk to Ron Rivard, and he's got a guest. Ron, who do I have?
Bob Louis Vivek.
Louis, Bob Venn, you're on a TV program called What's Going On Here?
What's going on?
And I told that you were the manager, everything right here.
Oh, I'm more of an instigator.
Are you a member? Is he a member of the Booster Club?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how long have you been with the Booster Club?
1 year. I've been teaching here 1 year.
You've been teaching, you teach what, Louis?
French in 7th and 8th grade.
You've been teaching a long time?
Oh, for the last 45 years.
45 years you've been teaching, right? Always French?
Mostly always French, yes.
Okay, and you were an athletic director at MAI before, they said.
That's right.
And MAI has poles. And they've got lights now. And were you instrumental in doing that?
I was the one that went and put them in.
All right. So this is your second project. These will be nicer than MAI, won't they now?
We'll have I think, more lights than there.
All right.
We'll have about 20% more light than at Bailey.
Okay. How long have you been involved in this project? Was he involved before it started even? He was.
Louis and I were the ones
all right.
Sat down.
Okay, we're going to look at the poles here just a second while we... Can you tell us what's happening here? Louis, tell us what's happening as he goes up here.
Well, right now, the pole is going to be caught with that arm up top there.
Okay.
And then
once that gripper way at the very top.
That's right. Once it's in, they're going to put it in line with the others, and
that has enough grip to lift that whole pole right straight up.
Oh yes, oh yes. As it goes right up there.
Now I hope that everything that you need on that pole before it goes up is already on, because it's a long way to climb up, and I was told that you have to climb it.
No. We use a bucket.
All right. Use a bucket when you go up.
Oh, yes.
It's a 40-foot pole. They go in about 5.5 feet.
That's right.
Have you any idea how many lights will be on that pole?
4 lights per pole.
Oh,
40 lights all around the field.
Well, that's a lot of light, isn't it?
Yep.
Now, with this kind of a pole, 40 feet high, 35.5 feet maybe out of the ground, 34.5, can you play softball? Just angle the lights differently? Is that what you do?
If they play softball, they'll have to, yes, I think we can play softball.
You can angle the lights,
yeah.
right? They just angle them a little bit differently?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so then after this is done, well, first of all, who determines where the lights go? Did you determine that?
Yeah, I determined
You position them.
Yeah, I consulted with Keith Howe from the NICEC company, and Mr. Sample, who is the maintenance crew here, and my experience, and we've put the lights in each corner so we can have a lot of light on the end lines, and then separated the pole equally. That's not a big job.
Okay.
It's just a matter of coordinating the things.
It doesn't sound big to you, but it does to me. It sounds like
no.
it's kind of complicated. All right, so that the next step after the poles are up is what? What happens?
We'll have to put all the wire on top, because the wire is going to go on top here in the field.
Who'll be doing that?
That's going to be the telephone company.
They're going to be helping with that
Yeah,
also.
that's right. And they'll be helping to put the lights up too.
Isn't that great? That's a terrific thing. And
I'd say that they're donating right now about $500 per pole, and the work of the men, I'd say put another $2,000-3,000. So I'd say about $11,000 they're giving in there.
And that's the
Champlain
Telephone Company. We, as a ideally said parishioner here, because I'm in St. Mary's, but as a resident, as a member of the help the people who pay taxes here at our Northeast, we want to thank David very much for his community-minded spirit. It's not the first time he's done things like this, but this is one of his biggest projects.
Oh, yeah.
He's back there helping St. Mary's when we have our field with our bazaar. He does other things, and his people are here, and they're burying, and then you don't have any braces on these poles or anything?
No,
you don't
nothing.
need any braces?
No. We'll have a guy wire at the end just to keep the wires taut. That's
How
all.
long do you think it'll be before it's operational? Any idea in time?
Their first game is on September 7, and it's my feeling that it's going to be ready before, because we want 1 or 2 scrimmages before, so that we can test the light and see if there's no black spots and everything else.
In conversation, Ron, and with the rest of you, are all games going to be at night? You expect?
We hope so,
You hope that all will
mostly.
be
Well, you have Ty, Tupper Lake, Saranac Lake. That would be a drive for them after around 9 o'clock. So
That's
kids
right.
get
I was
back.
going to say they got to go a whole
We
long way.
may have 2 or 3 afternoon games.
Okay. And this
Right.
is got innovation up here. Of course, Shazy, Plattsburgh's been having it, and I've seen a lot of people there at the game. There were a lot of people at the MEI field.
Yeah.
And if I could say, Jim Menard is doing all the electrical work, donating his time and everything else. I think, it's super. The
It
people
really is. Is he a member of your booster club also?
Well, Jim, he's always on call. He tells us he's on call if we need, and with Dick Lamberton, going through Dick to get Jim, coordinating everything else. It's just great. It's super.
All right, I'll let you finish up on this, but I might say that you've seen the ad that the Northeastern Booster Club has to help Calvin, and they made a donation to help to become patrons. If anybody out there who likes sports in any way would like to donate $5-10 to the Booster Club, just for no reason at all, except they want to help, would you accept money like that?
Well, we sure would.
All right. Want to say anything to anybody
Well,
out
if
there?
they want to do that, they can send it to Mary Jane Lucy. I think it's 8 Beechwood in Ross's Point, New York.
And if you so feel, become a member of the Booster Club in addition to your money, right?
Definitely.
Because they want strength, right?
Definitely.
And all right, what else haven't I covered here now?
I'll put one plug.
Yes.
There's one female working there.
I noticed
She's
that.
my wife, and we work as a team.
And I understand she's in athletics at Shazy.
Oh yes.
What does she do at Shazy?
She was coaching soccer. She was coaching basketball, and she coached the track and field as a club.
Is she a teacher?
She's a teacher at Cheesy. She's teaching at Cheesy.
Does she teach athletics?
No, she's teaching social studies.
Oh, so she's also into athletics, though.
Oh yes, she's very, very...
And you live in Shazy, or you live here?
No, we live in Plattsburgh.
In Plattsburgh? Yeah. And
we've worked always as a team together. Where she goes, I go.
Well, it's nice
where
to have
I go, she goes.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
So what are you doing this summer except for this project? Anything?
That's about it this summer.
This is your
yeah.
summer job that you're doing, huh? This is it. Well, what else can we expect? Now, where are the lines going to be out here? Any idea how far in they will be?
1 second there. Usually the lines were... I can find them. Normally...
We've just found the line. It's right here where you can tell where it's burned out a little bit, right?
Okay, that's right.
So you're 30 feet from the poles along
We're
here.
going to move the field 15 feet further. So we have a 75 yards field wide.
15 each side you're going to move
5
it?
each
5
side.
each side.
So right now we have 65. We're going to be 75 wide.
Okay, so 10 yards, 15 feet on each side. You're going to move it bigger, which will give a lot more playing area. That'll open up the field.
And then we have 20 feet for protection for the players.
Okay, now this will really be a whole new field. Even though it's here, it's going to be a whole new thing. You got any plans for any ceremonies or anything to welcome the new field?
The school has their opening game on September 7th, and if there's a possibility, we would like to have a good meeting to recognize all the people that worked and make it official that this is the start.
So you're talking like maybe a ceremony of some kind here, and then Calvin obviously will be here to televise this, and everybody else can see it. And if you're out there, and remember, September 7th, try to plan, try to be here that night. And you can, if you're hungry, you can eat, and you can have a soft drink. Is that true?
That's true. We got a concession. We have a committee on the concession, and we've been putting a lot of time and effort. And this is where we're hoping to make most of our money to help pay for this project.
You like to have some food, maybe hot dogs?
We're going to have hot dogs, nachos.
So don't bring any sandwiches, folks. When you come here, you come and you buy a hot dog, right? Help pay for the lights.
Right there.
Okay, well, I want to thank Ron. Ron's got to go on to something else, and have you got more time to spend with us? What else can we talk about? Ron, I want to thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Calvin. Appreciate you coming here and doing some PR for us.
Well, good luck with the with your booster club and with your new field. And I know you're very close to it. You're right here at the school working, and so are you, Lucian. And we'll just take a break here while we lose Ron, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. We see a truck heading over there with a ladder on top, and according to Louis, I was just mentioning it, that's Jim Menard, who's going to be doing some of the electrical work.
He's going to be doing all the electrical work. He's the one that's in charge of all the electricity to make sure everything runs well.
If you've been watching the program for the last 5 or 10 minutes, you'll notice one person here who wasn't here just a couple of minutes ago, and we'll try to find out who is this person.
I'm Susan Levac. I'm Lewis's wife.
And you are at Shazy. We did hear about you. You're at Shazy?
Yes, I'm a teacher at Shazy High School.
And the soccer coach?
I was a soccer coach. I relinquished that position for this next year because I'm going to go back to school and study.
Where will that be?
That'll be at Plattsburgh. It's
At
education courses.
Okay. Now, I would be very, I wouldn't say afraid, but cautious to be a soccer coach in Shazy with such a reputation for great soccer teams. How did you make out last year?
We did well. I had the modified girls, and we came in second
Excellent.
at the end of the season.
Excellent.
Of course, the kids are very talented to begin with, very coachable, so a lot of it was because of their efforts,
right?
Not really the coaches.
Well, I'll tell you, they got a feeling in Shazy they can play soccer, and all you got to do is direct them a little bit, and you did, obviously. So won't be teaching at all this year?
No, I'll be teaching, but I'm not going to do the coaching because the courses I'm taking are in the evening.
In the evening. So Louis is coming here to watch the soccer games and under the lights.
He'll be with me.
You're studying too. Yeah. All right, and you won't see the games very often.
I'll see some.
You'll see some of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
All right. The other question is, why are they burying that wire quite so deep? It's not
Because
going
of
to
the
freeze.
Frost, right.
The frost has to go. By
18.
code, you have to put the wires 20 inches underneath the ground.
Well, the frost goes down about 4 feet.
No, the real frost will go down 18 inches.
All right. Well, I learned something else. We also have a program this morning on frost. Something I did not know. I thought that you had to go down below the frost level, which is 4 to 5 feet.
Yeah, but they're going to put it all in PVC, so there'll be no problem.
All right. And we were talking during the break about the kind of electricity we have here. Now, I've heard the word three-phase, and this is three-phase.
The school is all wired three-phase. We're
You
going
know
to bring
what that
out.
means, too?
Yeah.
Yes.
You do. All right. And
We're going to bring out from the school 480 volts, and that's going to be brought down for the concession stand with a dry pack to 120, and for the scoreboard, it's going to be brought down for 120 again.
for the scoreboard. Okay, now that scoreboard we understand is going to be donated by Transporter and Mr. Siegel. Okay, I understand Sonny Siegel is involved in that. We heard earlier, and we'll have a scoreboard. Where's the scoreboard going to go?
I think, if I'm right, I think they're going to put it on the center line on the other side.
And the concession stand will be over there?
No, the concession stand should be down there in the corner, but I think they're going to have problems with that because we're going to lose a lot of current. So they'll have to put the concession stand on there.
A lot is going to depend on also how the wind moves across the field, and then it was mentioned that many people wouldn't want to be sitting with the wind blowing right at them.
You're right.
So A lot of this is fouled out for the first time. You know, we're going to see where preferences are, and we're going to place things that way.
We don't have the protection of the trees that Shazy had
No.
on that south side.
No.
And if you, I remember that most of they always gave the visiting team the east side because they had the sun in their face when they were sitting, and they also got the wind in their face. And the home team was over here most of the time when I've come to the soccer games. Do you know anything about stands? Are they going to have seating at all? Do you know
I
anything
think they're
about?
going to put the stands in the back here.
And do they have stands?
They have 1, 2, 3, 5 strands of stands, three stands high.
Hey, we're going to grow into a power here, and
That's
then
right.
and then they'll be. It's going to be interesting. One in Shazy and one in Champlain here, and the champions here last year, and they're in different leagues, though, aren't they?
Yeah,
They
are in
present
different
One
day.
leagues.
is
Yes,
in the
yes.
MVC and the other one
Correct.
is in the CVC.
Yes, they're right. They're in. And Shazy's one of the only teams left up north, correct?
That's
in
right,
that
that's right.
league, and
Yes.
they'd like to, but they're a little too small in number to play
I
against
think
these
it's
schools.
too small only in their minds.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. All right, what else can you tell us that I haven't covered? Where's your home? Where were you brought up?
I was brought up in Canton, Ohio, and came out here about 4 years ago to teach at Mount Assumption.
Okay. Now, there's something very famous about Canton, Ohio, as I recall.
The Football Hall of
The
Fame.
Football Hall of Fame is in Canton, right? I suppose you've been there, obviously.
Quite a few times.
That's a football town, too, isn't it?
Oh, very much, yes. They always have the kickoff season there.
Okay, now I do recall a word bulldog. Is there anything in Canton called the bulldog?
The Canton McKinley Bulldogs, yes.
I
McKinley
did
High
hear about
School.
that. Yes, I've
Yeah.
heard about the bulldog. I didn't know, and I didn't prepare that question. I did, huh? Canton, New York. Well, maybe are they called bulldogs? Oh, they named themselves after the Canton, Ohio. Where is Canton, Ohio? Tell us where it is
It's in
geographically.
northeastern Ohio. It's right below Akron, Ohio. Actually, Cleveland, Akron, and Canton, you can't tell when you leave one city and get into the other.
Okay. So you've been up north into northern New York for how long now?
Well, this
4
last
years.
year was my first year back. I've had 2 years up here non-consecutively. And
Okay.
I'm going on my 3rd year.
And you like our northern New York?
Very much, that's why I came
Is
back.
it a lot like Ohio?
It's much more beautiful than what Ohio is, where I'm from. And the people are different. In the large city, they're more pushy, and that the people are nicer here, I think.
Well, we're very pleased. Of course, this is not going back to Canton, Ohio this morning. Your folks would say, what is she saying up there in northern New York? But we're very glad to hear things like that up here in northern New York. Well, listen, thank you very much, both of you, for being with us this morning, and the very best of luck back at school. You know how your students feel now when you go back to school, huh?
Yeah.
We'll try to be here on the 7th, September
Okay.
7th. And
I hope you are. You
Oh,
certainly
yeah.
got to be here. To
That's right. Oh, I think we're
You've
gonna
got to be here for
yeah.
that one. And what do you teach?
I have social studies, psychology, and sociology at Shazy.
That's an assortment. Yeah.
That's a fun assortment.
Good. Excellent. And we'll be back to you later. We're going to go over and watch them dig a trench. This is what's going on here. And I have Susan and Louis Levesque, right?
That's right.
Right.
Levi.
And just like in the premier from Canada, Levesque, all right? And I'm Bob Venn. This is our program, and we're very pleased to be here at Northeastern Clinton Central School. You're looking at a pole being installed by the Champlain Telephone Company, but it's not a telephone pole, it's an electric pole. And we're at the Northeastern Clinton School, and we're around the soccer field. And if you go by here and you're wondering what's going on up on this field with all these poles, tune in on August the 26th, Sunday night the 26th, and we'll tell you the whole story. In the background you see Susan with the shorts, Susan Levesque, and Louis Levesque going. He's in charge of this project. And tune in the 26th and find out all about it. I'm Bob Venn. We're back at the end of the field here. We're at Northeastern Clinton. Our focus today for what's going on here is the new lights for the soccer field. And the camera is pointing up, way up to the south side of the school, the back end where the athletic department is, and somewhere up in there, one of those men is Jim Menard, who's going to be doing the electrical work, hooking up the lights, and he's also donating his time. Great effort here by many people, the Champlain Telephone Company, on toll hours and 10 poles, and then they've got their machine here. And if you look down, you can see where they were digging with the circular thing that digs and brings it up and throws it out on the sides. And somewhere along here, something happened, like many things do with machinery, and it stopped working. So they, as we mentioned before, they just turned their machine around, and now you're getting a width nearly 3 times as wide. It's the width of the bucket. And there you see the machine digging, and as Louis told us, you've got to go down at least 18 inches for code, and they're going down a little over 2 feet. You see there are big rocks in this area. There's a big one here they couldn't get out. I'll just come over here. Maybe Calvin can see this big rock right here. They had to go around it. Of course, they're going to put in a couple-inch wire, so there's no problem going around it, but they had to get around that wire. And this is not sandy soil here completely. This is loam, a lot of clay, and it's tough. And these marks are where they put their pivots so that the machine will not lift up in the back. They put their things down, and that's their track also that's going on. You see the legs out front. Maybe we can see them when they move. Those 2 hydraulics in the front keep the machine from standing up. That kind of braces it. Now see how it's moving right now as he digs. If you'll see how it moves, because there's an awful lot of power there. And there's Randy LeBumbarb, another employee of the Champlain Telephone Company. He's not in very heavy working clothes. He's not in his dirty working clothes. If we look at the big Brandy, what's his nickname? Bird out there. Yeah, Bird is walking across. And we see Dale Carter here with the shovel. This is all fake. Dale don't usually use that shovel. He's directing traffic. See, look at this is Dale right here. Hi, Dale.
How you doing?
We usually see him with a bat in his hand or a basketball dribbling or something. Dale, what's happening on this job right here now? What are you going to do with this big rock?
Well, we got to get it out.
You've got it. What is that? That's got to be 3 feet in diameter.
It's a big one.
Look at the size of this. Can you put your shovel on the back side of where it goes? Oh, it's more than that. It's over 3 feet from front to back. And how wide is that digging right now? About 18 inches?
12.
12?
Yeah. Oh, you mean down?
Yeah, no, across.
12, that's a 12
Well, that's an awful lot more than 12. Across from here to there. I don't know what the bucket may be 12, but
yeah, but maybe what it's pulling out.
it's pulling out more. And then when it usually digs, it's what, 6, 5? What's the usual when you use the 4-inch? When you use the other end, but that's you're going to have to make a circle here, like digging a basement, right?
Yep.
See, I just found out from Louis. He told me that you have to go. I thought if you went down 6 inches, you're far enough.
No, it's well, they're going to put it in PVC pipe now, so we only have to go 18 inches.
Oh.
If they were going to just lay it in, you'd have to go 24.
That's what he mentioned. I thought that the frost goes down below 24, but he said not enough to affect.
Not enough to affect it, I guess.
Okay. Can wire freeze?
I would imagine.
I don't know. So what if it does? It's already hard.
Right.
I don't understand it. But anyway, so you're digging right straight across.
Right.
And how long have you been working up here in this project?
We started yesterday.
Yesterday? I think we were just saying what a great effort this is for the telephone company and for you people to, well, you're not donating your time exactly. You're working today. So Dale's still going to get paid from David at Southwick and Company. And who's running your digger?
Rick Dubois.
Rick Dubois. What do you call that? That machine?
Trencher.
A trencher. Okay. So you can go either way. You got and you got an auger too. On the back? Is that an auger?
Yeah. Well, what it does is when it digs the dirt up,
it throws it sideways. Oh, okay. That's a distributor. We'll go around and look at the back of that. But you're looking down. No idea how deep that is, but that's probably from your experience going to be down 2-3 feet also, right?
At least, right?
Now, if you waited long enough with the frost each year, eventually that rock keeps coming up, correct? But you can't wait that long. You're going to have to pull it. You're going to have to pull it out. Our focus is the installing of some line here and all the new poles on the soccer field. And as we see here, as you look up, this is the old line right here, 65 yards across. It's going to be moved over another 5 yards to make it wider, and 5 on the other side. So an additional 30 feet in width. And it's going to give you a lot more playing area, open up the field. It's going to open the type of soccer that Shea Z plays. They used to play a lot on the wings and then center the ball in the middle. They did that for years when George Brendler was coaching. And when you play Ellenberg, they do it just the opposite. They come up the middle more. and then they pass it out to their wing who take a shot. And they had two different philosophies. And you also have what they call an M. You can have your two inside forwards up, and then your outsides are back, or you can have a W where your outsides and your center are up. So you either have 3 forward or 3 in the back behind your line, and it depends. With a wider field, I would assume you'll do more of the W, where you'll get that outside wing can center it into his center forward, and the other men come up behind it. And it'll be interesting. Come up here. We're going to plan on being here September the 7th, and we hope you're here. And we're going to walk up here, just show you as we go up toward the school. I'm Bob Venn. This is What's Going On Here. And I hope you're enjoying the show. I'm hugging this wall right here behind me, and it's not just for an effect. I'm here trying to get out of the rain, but there's no roof up here. It's really starting to rain. And we're looking at the area around the school where the tarmac has been broken up, and they're going to go, what's happening here? Jim Menard, tell us what's happening.
Well, we got two 2-inch lines coming out of here for 400 amps to run their lights out here on the ball field and concession stand. And we got a 16-inch concrete wall that we got to bore 2 holes through.
And you aren't going to do that with that drill?
Yeah, well, it's a different drill than that. It's a Bosch quarter bit.
How long will that take?
How long will it take?
You have to make more than 1 hole?
Yes, we got to make 2 holes through there.
Big enough to bring that wire through?
Yeah.
Is this the wire you're going to lay?
Yeah, and a 2-inch conduit. The conduit is over.
So the conduit won't go through the wall.
Going to go through the wall.
How can you do that in just 2 drills? I mean, the drill that big around?
Oh yes. Yeah, it's 2.5 inch in diameter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we got to drill 2 holes in there that size.
How long will that take to go through a 16-inch?
Depending on how much
Any idea?
re-rod we run into. See, all the school when they poured the cement, they've got steel
rods
re-rod in
across.
there.
Yes. I mean, are you talking
the
10
cement-
minutes or an hour? 2 hours?
Probably, depending on the re-rod's probably going to be 4 or 5 hours. You know,
And you'll be doing it from inside, I hope,
Yes,
not out. Because then all you got. One big question. You got a hole here to meet it, and you got to go inside and find out where you are. What if you don't come out where the hole is, like I do when you come out over here 1.5 feet? How do you do this? How do you
we've
know
already
exactly?
drilled a pilot hole through with a smaller
I
bit.
thought that you just had some kind of psychic powers, and you actually did it by drilling a small pilot hole.
Yeah.
This is the conduit you're going to lay in the.
Yeah. 2 of those is going to go in there.
And that's the wire right over here, correct?
Yeah, there's 2 pools.
And it's got 3 wires for each within each, and there'll be 2 of these going all the way along.
Yeah, all the way down that trench and over to your...
And how many feet are you going to have? Do you have any idea from here to well, when you go into the bottom pole and across, then you're going to go up the pole.
We're going to go down this ditch to that pole, then we're going to go up, then we're going to go overhead.
Is that the same kind of wire going overhead?
Different one. That wire that's going overhead is down there at the end of the field.
Is it bigger, smaller?
It's a little bit smaller. It's triplex. It's outdoor wire. In other words, the air temperature keeps
Is this
it a little bit
aluminum
cool.
wire?
Yeah.
It is, so it's lighter.
200 amp URD.
What does that mean, URD?
Underground. Underground burial.
Yeah, these guys talk, like they're talking to another electrician. Who's the gentleman next to you over here? Who's this gentleman? Dick. Well, I saw that on your shirt. Dick who?
Dick Lamberton.
Dick Lamberton. Lamberton sounds like a Morris Forks name.
Yeah.
Gotta be, huh?
Yeah, Morris Forks.
And you work with Jim, I take it?
Well, no, I work to the school.
You're at the school.
Yeah.
All right. So you're supervising him.
Well, I'm helping him. Yeah.
All right. Jim, how are you related to the rest of the Menards up here, the contractors? Is that the different Menard?
In Moores or?
Yeah, the one
Francis?
from Rogers Point. Francis. Are you related to them?
Francis Menard?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my father.
It is your father.
Yeah.
So you were at that wedding when I did your brother
Yeah.
and Joe. All right. That was,
You were there.
I asked you what all his brothers were doing recently when we went to the Bulrush farm. Huh? Another one of the Menard boys.
Yeah.
And an electrician, huh? Menard sheet metal. Let's give him a little bit of, here, look what's happening right here. Menard sheet metal. He's got sheet metal, electrical, plumbing, heating, and restaurant hoods. He's got all those things because he doesn't know either one of them enough to make a living, so he's got to do them all. Is that right?
A little bit of something there.
You know I'm kidding out there, and he knows I'm kidding. Did you draw this circle right underneath Calvin there?
No, that was something drawn by the school.
I thought maybe that's where you were going to start your pilot hole or something.
Either that or that's where the A-bomb's going to drop. I don't know what.
So listen, how long have you been in business for yourself?
Oh, Jesus, we've been in business for a long time.
We? Who's we?
Well, my father and I.
Oh, it's your father and you. Your dad's into all of it, isn't he, huh?
He's
And
into everything.
your brother told me he used to be a farmer.
Oh, yeah, still is.
He still is a farmer.
Yeah, we got a farm, 130 cow farm that we run besides. And we got a construction crew.
Do you milk in the morning and at night?
No. My
You're
brothers take care of that.
You're out of that. All
Yep,
right. Well,
I'm
thank
out
you
of
very much for talking to us. And we're at this, where it's all going to start. How far do you have to go inside to grab where the wiring is?
After we get through the 16-inch
Yes.
concrete wall, we're only about 4 feet away from where the power is going to come from.
Okay, and how long do you think it'll take to get all this installed?
The wire installed. If it's not going to rain too much today, the wire should be installed today.
On the ground, in the ground.
In the ground.
Now, am I correct that you're donating some of this time?
Yeah, some of it. Yeah.
Listen,
That's
we
right.
appreciate that as taxpayers and as people here of our school district. I think it's a great way everybody's pitching in to get this feel. As I was just talking with Ron, for years we've had a very good academic program here. We've got good teachers, we've got good facilities inside, and our outside facilities are improving all the time.
Right.
We've got a nice baseball field as long as it doesn't get too wet down below. Several softball fields. There's a soccer field right here that they use for practice, I guess. There's another one inside the track. And now we got the ultimate, I guess, lights in the soccer field. The only second one, I think, in the county, or 2-3 counties around. We're the only second one to have it. And it's through people like yourself who are making some of your donations that are able to do this. And we appreciate your time, and we expect to see you here on the 7th of September to the first game.
Yeah.
So they're going to introduce you, obviously. That worked and contribution you did here, I would think. I have nothing to do with that. If they don't blame me. All right? It's because you didn't put a restaurant hood in. That's why they don't introduce you. All right, so this is the Friday, and it's about 20 of 12, and I'm getting rained on. This is the wire. This is the hole. They're going to go together. This is where it was done by the back track, and way in the back you see the telephone company truck, Champlain Telephone Company, and you see the 6 or 8 people out there who are trying to work in the rain to get this done in time for September. Thank you very, very much out there in the TV land. Hometown Cable is bringing you this, and of course I did mention before, but holding that camera and doing all the work, the directing, the producing, is Calvin Castine. And when you see Calvin, say hello. Tell him you enjoy this show, you enjoy all his shows, and remember, this is brought to you by your sponsors who you see advertised on there, who helped make this possible, and also you hundreds of people. I think there's nearly 200 of you now who have become patrons and have sent a donation to Calvin and Hometown Cable so that he has a little bit more money to work with. He can get a little bit better equipment, although his equipment is top-notch, but it's getting used, and he can just maybe buy other things that you and I out there need to help our family, buy something for our family, because the money just isn't there. This man does not get paid. I've told you that before. I love to do it, but he can't do that. I have outside income. He doesn't, and this is become a patron. Thanks very much, and watch on Saturday night, and you'll see who the patrons are. And if you see a brother and he hasn't, tell him you did and to send in $12. Bob Venn, what's going on here? And we're on every Sunday night. Thanks much for watching, and thanks your comments that you make to me during the week. I appreciate them.
Hello everyone, this is Calvin Castine. We're at the Lester M. Rock Memorial Field at the West Plattsburgh American Legion. We're here on this Thursday evening, the 23rd of August, my daughter Danielle's 9th birthday. We're not here for her birthday party, we're here for action in the Adirondack Slow Pitch League A Division semifinals. Scott McCormick starts the ball game with a fly ball to Jim Davison. The custom canvas at bat, Ubald Sunoco in the field. Best of 5 series. Custom canvas leading 2-0. And the Ubald's team has been unique. The first one in this year of the no-hitter, they were almost no-hit. This is Jim Wood. With 2 outs in the 7th, Jim Davison singled for the only hit of the ball game for Ubalds as they lost 9-0. So they almost joined the list of no-hit teams this year, and Art Guerin almost joined the list of no-hit pitchers. Kelly Dragoon with a nice running grab, comes over and catches the ball between shortstop Randy Davison and left fielder Mark Tatro. 2 down, and brings up Keith Rayel, who started his personal ball game last night with a home run in the bottom of the first. And that got 2 on the scoreboard for Custom Canvas. Alan Babby delivers. In the top of the inning, U-Balls have come out with 5 runs. Custom got 2 back in the bottom of the inning. After 2.5, U-Balls led 9-2. And then going into the 7th inning, they were trailing 14-9, so they gave up 12 consecutive runs to the Custom Canvas team. Ended up losing 14-11. Jim Davison catches for the 3rd out, but that was not the biggest come from behind loss in the big leagues last night. The Dodgers managed to blow an 11-1 lead and lose to the Phillies. So last night was a come from behind night, and the U-Balls was just following suit, I guess, and losing coming from behind. They were following the Dodgers while the Custom Canvas team was doing the Phillies part. No score. We're going to the bottom half of the 1st. At top of the 1st inning, I think, was a big inning for